Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to the Nintendo Night podcast. I am Art, and I'm joined here with my co-host Joe.
Hey, everybody.
So for our first podcast, I thought we'd take a little while to just introduce ourselves. As I said, my name's Art. I'm 25. I'm very into Nintendo gaming. Have been for most of my life. In fact, some of my earliest gaming memories are watching my older brothers play through Zelda: Ocarina of Time. I have a big Nintendo collection. I've got about 20 consoles and close to 200 games. My favorite Nintendo games would probably be Animal Crossing for the GameCube, Zelda Breath of the Wild, and Xenoblade 2. What about you, Joe?
So my name is Joe. I'm 24. We are brothers, by the way. So I obviously grew up with Art playing a lot of Nintendo games, just gaming in general. Legend of Zelda is my favorite series of all time. Huge fan of all of them. I played probably 90%. I think I'm missing like the second DS one uh, with the train. Majora's Mask is definitely the favorite. Twilight Princess is probably my second favorite. Um, yeah, love Nintendo, love Zelda.
Phantom Hourglass, I think that one's called.
No, that was the first one.
Oh, was it?
Spirit Track.
Spirit
Spirit Track.
Tracks, yep,
Never
you're
played it.
right. All right, so I thought for the first episode, we'd go ahead and we'd talk over some of the upcoming games for the Nintendo Switch. Um, so the first one we've got coming out here on February 14th is a game called Darksiders Genesis. I've never played any of the Darksiders games before, but I did check out the trailers, and it looks pretty cool. The graphics are nice, they're colorful. Looks kind of like a dungeon crawler. Looks like it's probably good for like couch co-op multiplayer. Did you get a chance to check out the trailer for this one?
I've looked at it. I watched some gameplay and I watched the cinematic trailer. Cinematic trailer is great. I don't know if that like voice acting and like kind of comedy is gonna follow through to the game, but the gameplay, it's never been my go-to type of game, but it does look fun. It's a lot of like crazy magic spells and weapons going on, which is always fun. A lot of diversity there.
Yeah, I agree. It's not really my type of game, but I feel like multiple people, if you had them all together and played, four people couch co-op, this would be a good type of game, almost like a gauntlet type game.
Yeah, I could definitely play it, but I don't think it would hold me for too long.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that. This one's coming out at $39.99, so it'll be a $40 release. Not a full price game, so could be good to have on the back burner for multiplayer
Is
events.
is this a remake or is this a new game?
I think this is a new game, but from a series. Darksiders is a series.
Okay.
So after that, the next game coming out actually on the same day, February the 14th, is Snack World: The Dungeon Crawl Gold. This one, I've watched the trailers. I never played the original, which was like a 3DS game. So this is a remake of that. I believe it actually only came out in Japan, the original, but this is a port of it, and it's coming out nationwide. It's kind of got anime-esque 2D graphics, and it just doesn't really look up my alley.
Oh, see, I'm intrigued. I am into this game. Like it looks okay, so first off, it doesn't look like it takes itself too seriously. It just looks so weird. And like I don't know. It's something about it's just caught my eye and I'm actually really into it.
I will agree. It definitely looks strange. This one's actually going to be a $50 release, which seems a little pricey for a DS port, especially since I believe 3DS games came out at $49.99, or I mean $39.99, $40. But maybe that was the full price. Now I can't remember.
Yeah, I won't I think they do start at 40, but who knows. Those days are
So
behind us.
yeah, for sure. So coming just a few days after that, we've got Devil May Cry 3 Special Edition. That's coming out on the 20th. Um, of course, Devil May Cry is really cool, so that's cool to see coming to the Switch. The only thing I wasn't sure with it being the Special Edition, I haven't kept up with Devil May Cry. Is this supposed to be a remaster, or is it just strictly a port of the original? The graphics didn't look enhanced to me.
I I feel like it's got to be a remaster, right? What I guess Devil May Cry 3 must have been like a PlayStation 3, Xbox 360 generation game, or was it PS2?
I can't remember. Looking at the trailer, it kind of looked PS2. It didn't really look much improved from there.
Maybe it is just a port. I don't know. Um, but I've never played Devil May Cry. It'd be kind of sacrilege to start on 3, I think, but
Yeah,
might
I've
give it
never
a shot.
played like a full game from start to finish. I've played a little Devil May Cry just over at friend's house before, but I've never gotten into the whole story. But I think Dante's a really cool character. I'd like to check it out. I think the Switch is the perfect place to do it.
Yeah, for sure. Since we're not going to be able to check him out on Smash anytime soon.
Right. So a few days after that, on the 25th, we've got a game called Gods and Monsters. I don't know if you remember this being shown at
I
E3.
do remember the E3 trailer, and it looked super cool.
Yeah, it looked very intriguing. From the same creators of Assassin's Creed Odyssey. The only thing I will say now is with it coming out in what 21 days, they haven't released a single thing other than the E3 trailer. There's
Yeah,
nothing else to see about the game.
I have no clue what's even going on in this game.
Yeah, the trailer doesn't show like any gameplay, so I it looks cool. The graphics are like hand drawn, super colorful, very nice looking. I just have no idea what the game's actually about or what the gameplay is going to be like.
Guess we'll have to wait to see. But the trailer definitely got my attention at E3, and I had kind of forgotten about this game, but just rewatching the trailer, I was like, this could be really cool.
Yeah, it looks like it may be, and they're pricing this as a full release. It's going to be a $60 game on launch. Speaking of, I think I skipped over it, but Devil May Cry is going to be $19.99. It's going to be digital only, though.
Can't be a remaster then. There's no way they'd put it at $20 if it was a remaster. Must just be a
Yeah,
port.
yeah, I think you're probably right. All right, so moving along from there, the next game coming out actually on the same day, the 25th as well. We've got Mega Man Zero slash ZX Legacy Collection. Now, this is a port of actually multiple games. This is 6 Mega Mans in a row. It's Mega Man Zero, 1, 2, 3, and 4, as well as Mega Man ZX and ZX Advent. I've never played any of the Mega Man X's or ZX's or the Mega Man Zeros, but I know they're pretty popular and they're older games back from when Mega Man was still really popular. So I'd be excited to check them out on Switch as well. I think they're perfect games for the Switch.
Yeah, that's a great game to play in like handheld mode. Are those ones have like enhanced graphics, don't they? Is it still like Mega Man gameplay, or is it like different?
I believe they're just 2D platforming like your traditional
Okay.
Mega Man. They are better graphics. I want to say they're PS1 era, but they may even be PS2 era games.
Hmm.
But the 6 of them only set you back $29.99, so it's not too pricey. And like I said, I think it'd be good, especially if you just wanted to hop in and play a few levels while you're on the go or something. That'd be a good game for it.
Nothing better than playing some Mega Man and driving down the freeway.
Exactly. Exactly, man. So then that's about all we've got on February coming out. Not very busy month for games, but I think the main game everybody's talking about and what we want to spend a lot of time talking about is Animal Crossing coming out next month on March the 20th. I want to start our discussion with the recent console announcement. So they're going to do a Animal Crossing themed Switch console, and it looks absolutely delightful. I just really love this console. I've got, as I said, I collect video game consoles, so I've got currently 3 Nintendo Switch consoles. I've got the Pokemon Let's Go edition, I've got the Smash edition, and then the standard console. And with the 3 of those, I never even considered them changing how the dock looks, as in like a different color. And the white dock on this console looks amazing.
Is Tom Nook on the dock?
Yes, so it's a
Yeah, he
white
is.
dock. Then there's water with waves at the bottom portion of the dock, and a little island with Tom Nook, and then Timmy and Tommy.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, so those look awesome. And then you've got the pastel controllers. One's like a mint green, and one's kind of like a sea blue,
I
and
believe
they're
I believe that's seafoam green.
seafoam green. Okay, probably.
That's that's my guess.
But they're the first two-tone controllers that I've seen. So they're on the front, they're those colors. On the back, they're actually white to match the dock.
I feel like they haven't done a two-tone controller in a while, huh? they do any official GameCube two-tones?
Yes, there were multiple GameCube two-tones. I don't think any of them were for sale through regular retailers. There was all through Club Nintendo.
Mm,
There was a Mario themed GameCube controller that looks actually just like the Wii remote, where it's red on the front, dark blue on the back. They did a
yep.
Luigi one. They did a Wario one that's yellow on the front and purple on the back, and that one's really cool. Super expensive to get now, though, if you want
Oh, I'm
one.
sure.
So yeah, they've actually done two tones. I think for every console generation. Well, I won't say every console generation. Basically, there's two-tone N64 controllers. There's two-tone GameCube controllers. There were no two-tone Wii controllers that I know of.
Yeah, no, the ones you just talked about, Mario.
Yes, that's a caveat though, because none of those came out while the Wii was a thing. So they're Wii U remotes technically.
Oh,
They will work on the Wii though, but
oh,
their boxes have Wii U branding and all that. So there was none available during the life cycle of the Wii that were two-tone.
interesting.
Yeah.
I forgot that the Wii U's so sketchy. Just
Yeah.
releasing Wii controllers for the Wii U.
Hey, it's cool for your controllers to be backwards compatible.
Yeah,
You go buy new controllers.
that's why everybody thought it was just an upgrade version of the Wii.
Right. That was one of many
A
reasons the Wii U failed.
disaster.
Yep. Great console. I love it. I'll back up the Wii U as long as I live. It had great games. It was a great idea. Now the Switch does the whole thing better, but
Yeah,
that doesn't take away from the fact that at the time the Wii U was good. It's just nobody knew to give it a chance.
right. Shame.
Uh, So, still talking about that console, that's going to come out a little before the game. I want to say they said the console will come on the 12th or the 13th. It's not going to include the game. So it seems like
Which is
throughout the
weird.
rest of the world, yeah, it's weird, but I don't mind it because it sounds like the rest of the world is going to get the game with it for some reason.
Oh,
But their console costs $60 more, so you're not saving any money. It's
right.
still like buying the console and the game separately. Only you get a digital version of the game, so you don't even get a physical copy, which obviously I like. And if I'm going to pay full price for it, I'd rather just go get the physical version.
For sure.
So this one will cost $299, I believe, in the US. And like I said, that's no game. That's just the console, the Joy Cons, the dock. Everything you'd expect with the actual Switch console.
I'm a little surprised they didn't try and do a Switch Lite. They just had the Switch Lite Animal Crossing commercial.
Yeah, I think the reasoning behind it is they're making it such a big deal that 8 people within your house can share the console and all live on the same island. And then 4 of them can play live at once on the same console, almost using like a Smash Bros. Logic where the screen focuses on one character and kind of zooms out as they get farther away from each other.
Yeah,
And so obviously that won't work on the Switch Lite because you can't dock it, 1, and 2, the controllers aren't removable. So I think it just makes sense if they're trying to push those multiplayer features for it to be on a regular Switch console.
true. Surely there's got to be some kind of invisible wall function. There's no way you can just zoom out the whole world.
Yeah, oh no, I would expect there's a maximum distance that you could zoom and then you guys will be stuck. You won't be able to go any farther away from each other.
Yeah.
Also, you can only use one person's inventory at a time. So, like, you select a
Oh,
party leader, and then that person's inventory is the only one you can access. Everybody else follows each other around. But with like one push of a button, you can switch party leader at any time and access the next person's inventory. So it takes a little playing around, but for you all to just share controllers and play on one system at the same time, it's a pretty cool
oh, it's
idea.
next level. It's worth it. Whatever, corners they had to cut, as long as it's playable and it's fun, who cares?
Yeah, I think they did the best that they could with making it so you could still utilize everybody's inventory and that you can all see. So I think that's going to be a really cool feature, which I guess has gotten us more into the talk of the game past the
yeah.
console. We've pretty much talked everything about the console. So let's talk about the game coming up. Before we really get into what we've seen, which isn't much, I do want to bring up that when we first saw the first trailer, which I'm trying to remember when that was now, E3? No, there was a trailer before E3 because E3 they announced the delay.
It was in a Smash Direct, wasn't it?
No, I don't
Was
think
that
there
when
was
they
a
announced
trailer.
it?
That's when they announced it, but it was just Tom Nook, and he's like, "Hey,
Yeah.
we're working on Animal Crossing,"
Yeah.
So I can't remember when the first trailer was, but that I guess that doesn't really matter. My point is, when you first saw the trailer, you were really skeptical about it and worried that you weren't going to like the game. I wanted to see if you could detail that for us and talk about if your fears have been put to rest or what you're thinking now.
This is true. I won't deny it. When I saw it, I was flat out bummed. I was disappointed. I was like, this isn't what I want. They're straying away from the formula. And basically it all, you know, it's just from what they decided to show. They wanted to show very little, obviously, and you see like everything being built by hand and gathering materials, and like a big focus on this crafting system. And I just want to go to Tom Nook's store and see some dope furniture and say, I don't have the money for that. Let me shake some trees and get some pears and sell them, and now I have the money, buy it, put it in my house. I wasn't ready for these big changes where it seemed to me a little too much like they're trying to be Harvest Moon, which I don't think is what the games are supposed to be about, which they kind of are, honestly. But I don't know. I was just scared that they were focusing on too much crafting and material gathering. They didn't show off any houses. Everybody's living in tents, and I don't know. That's what set me off a little bit at first. And I'm also just kind of I love the first Animal Crossing, and so all the new character designs and stuff. I know that it's been there since pretty much City Folk. They kind of started to change that and make them look more human-esque, and you get shoes and stuff, which is cool. I do like that customization, but I thought they might be going in too deep.
Right, you mean as far as like the shape of the body, not so much the fact that you can customize every piece of what you're wearing, but
Yeah,
they were
I
kind
miss
of
the
like
horns,
short and
dude.
fat with horns. Yeah. They
Yeah,
were like bulky in the GameCube version, and now they're very humanoid.
yeah, long legs.
Yeah, and now people were freaking out. They've got kneecaps in this game because you can wear shorts, and people
Oh
have seen
God,
there's kneecaps.
it's too much. It's too much too fast.
It is a little strange. And I've actually seen a lot of people echoing your concerns, and I to some degree have the same concerns, just that they haven't shown off any kind of traditional shop or even the museum or anything like that. I'm thinking there's no way they're doing away with all of those things, but I think you
Right.
may have to build them into your town before they're available. I'm a little skeptical, not nearly as much as you were, because one of the biggest problems I've always had with Animal Crossing is you hop on, you spend 30 minutes doing whatever you need to do, and then you kind of fizzle out. You don't
It's
really
true.
have anything to dedicate yourself to.
And if I'm not mistaken, New Leaf took out the ability to change the clock. Is that true? Or am I wrong there?
I think there was still sketchy ways to do it.
Like by changing your system clock on the 3DS?
Yes. But I don't think there's going to be a way to do it in this game because there's autosaves now. So you can't actually.
Okay. Does that mean no more Resetti? Oh my God.
They said there won't. They say he's getting a new job. So he'll be
Okay.
in the game. They're going to give him a new job. He's not dying.
I'd say Tom Nook's out here taking jobs from the hardworking folk. I mean, he's just a blue collar guy trying to make ends meet.
I know, but I've got to agree with Nook on this one. Autosaves can save you a lot of heartache in this
Automation,
game.
damn you.
I want to say this one's going to be a change for the better.
Yeah, you're very right, because Resetti was a son of a bitch.
Yes,
So
very
much
annoying.
dialogue.
And it sucked to lose whatever progress you made for whatever the reason was. If you lost power for a second, which I guess isn't
Yep.
an issue with the Switch anyway. But there was times when the game reset where it wasn't your fault.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, I've seen a lot of people echoing what you said. They're worried about the traditional stuff going away. I'm thinking this is more all going to be stuff on top of the Animal Crossing we love. So I think yes, there will be crafting of items, furniture, tools, but I think you'll still be able to purchase them as well. Maybe there will be different tools that you can craft from purchase, but I'm almost certain there's no way they're doing away with gold tools, silver tools, things like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Those things are an Animal Crossing staple.
And
Um,
it genuinely seems like they're just trying to give you more stuff to do, more goals to set, more gameplay. And so with that being a thing, I also don't see any way they do away with the museum because
Oh
filling that
no,
up.
you
So
got to have a place to put the fish collection. That's
exactly.
just
So
it's gonna be there.
I think it's just going to be an extra grind because not only do you have to fill the museum, you have to get the resources and build the museum yourself.
Yep.
It'll be like a feature you get through Tom Nook or something.
Through
He'll
Tom Nook. Yeah.
he'll
That.
find
Yep.
some sketchy way to charge you to build a museum.
Yep.
The other thing I've seen rumors flowing out around, or not even rumors, I guess theories is the right word because there's no basis for it, is people are wondering if there is going to be some sort of city like in City Folk where you can hop on the airplane, go to a city, and there's like a collection of shops there. What would you think about something like that?
I'm into it. I feel like there's never been like a diverse enough amount of items to like in City Folk, you go to the city and there's nothing to do. There's still like one shop, and I feel like there's never been enough to like make it worth it to have like more than one like shop NPC. Like they added more items, but it's all the same. Like, Nook controls it all and he can sell you everything you need. Even clothes, like you could get them from the tailors, but Nook sold clothes too. My point is, I feel like they need something like maybe an arcade mini games. I don't know, something fresh to fill the space of a city. Which when we say city, it'll probably be a cluster of like 5 shops, a little fountain in the middle, that kind of thing. Um, but they need something more than just like another place to buy items.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I think with City Folk for the Wii, the city was really cool in idea, but not quite as thought out in design when it actually came to be. Like, I
Yeah.
know you can run into random villagers there that aren't in your town. It would be cool to be able to send them letters after that and try to like convince them to move to your town. So if you saw a villager you really like, hey, come to my town, it's really cool, or my island in this case.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that would add benefit to seeing random villagers there because usually like I didn't even bother talking to them because there's no reason to. They're not going to move to your town. You're probably not going to see them ever again because it's randomized villagers, and I think there's like 400 of them at this point.
Yeah.
And then yeah, to what you said, there needs to be more to do in the city other than just shops because if I remember, there was one like really high end shop where
Yeah,
everything
like
was super
expensive
expensive.
furniture. Then Crazy Red was there in the freaking alleyway. And then there's that shoe shining skunk.
Right. I feel like the super expensive thing is cool. I would keep that like to give you things to grind for because that one it didn't change out daily.
That's I agree with that point, but it should be very expensive, like
Yeah,
very
I
expensive
think some of
stuff.
it was. I think some of it got up over like a million bells back then, if I
Okay,
remember
maybe I
correctly.
just sucked too much of the game to care, and I said I'm not going in this store.
And
I'm a
that one,
street rat.
yeah, I mean that's true to an extent. We were pretty young, and then that one just didn't catch our us as much as the GameCube one did, so we got bored
Yeah,
of it pretty quick. And that's the general consensus. I think that's the least popular game in the series actually currently, which is a shame. But I think there were good things that could be salvaged from that game. I know the other
absolutely.
thing people hate in that game, and they hoping is not brought back, is how your grass gets destroyed as you walk over it. A couple months in, your whole town looks like a desert.
Yeah. Since you can place your own little trail tiles, I think that's probably going to be how you do it instead of just running back and forth because it didn't take long. You could just sit there and run back and forth like with your guy and just tear up the grass.
Yeah, it's insane. And then the problem was it took forever to grow back. You had to do it like you had to have your town in like perfect condition for grass to even start growing. And then it took months and months and months to grow back. So it took seconds to destroy, and then it was impossible to grow back. So if you didn't run on a specific path, eventually your town would have basically no grass in it,
Yeah.
which obviously, I from what I understand, and for you as the audience to understand, Joe and I didn't really play New Leaf just because we aren't really DS gamers, so we're really excited for it to come back to console so we can play Animal Crossing again. But from what I understand, they fixed that for the most part on New Leaf. They did still have the grass killing mechanic, but they tweaked it so it was much better working than it was in City Volk.
Okay. Was there one in between those, or is that a City Folk then New Leaf?
That's it, City Folk then New Leaf. Um, I was actually thinking about it today. It's pretty crazy. There was 8 years in between Animal Crossing GameCube and City Folk, the two console releases, and now there's 8 years in between New Leaf and this one.
8 years? Holy
Yeah,
cow.
New Leaf came out all the way back in 2012. Now, it did get a big update. I want to say 2015 with the Welcome Amiibo update is what they called it, and it was a free update, and it was like a big DLC. They
Yeah,
actually
you
added a
could get
lot.
Ganon as a villager.
Yeah, and it added like quite a bit of other stuff too. Furniture, it made some tweaks. So it was almost like to hold out on making a new game. They added a lot of content to that one. It's the first one they did something like that on. And then there's been 2 spin-offs since then, maybe 3. There was Happy Home Designer, which people actually enjoyed, but it was basically like you could just use furniture and design houses. There was cool stuff added to that though. So the one that I know for sure they kept into Animal Crossing New Horizons is you can move furniture in half increments. So now you can basically move, like, even if your house is the same size as it was in the GameCube, there's twice as many spaces you can move furniture into. So you
Yeah,
can really
that's
tweak
nice.
it to look just right in your house. The other thing they added was rugs. Um, Now you'll remember there were rugs in the original, but it took up your whole floor. These were area rugs, so it would be like,
Oh,
yeah. And we're not confirmed those are coming back, but I would assume they are. There, I don't think they would destroy that. And then the other thing they added was like wall/roof furniture, so things that would hang from the ceiling or be mounted on walls,
okay.
things like that.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, so they added a lot to how furnishing the house works, and I think we'll see a lot of that stay around for this new game.
Oh yeah.
And then,
Um,
of course, there was Amiibo Festival, which is terrible, known for being
never
terrible.
say that name.
I've got my copy brand new, never opened. I was skeptical about it when I saw the reviews. As a collector, I still had to get it, but I actually found that at Walmart on clearance for like $15. It comes with 2 Amiibo. So I was like, at $15, I have to get it. Amiibo are normally $14.99 each.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I've never tried playing the game. From what I understand, it's just terribly bad. And then I want to say they did one other spin-off, but I just can't think of
The
what it
phone,
was.
the phone game.
Oh, right. Yeah, Pocket Camp,
Yeah,
which I had a little bit of fun with Pocket Camp. I got bored quick. It's too pay to win. I don't want to say
yeah,
pay to win because there's no winning, but at some point it's like if I don't pay money, I just really can't do anything.
yeah. I remember. I think I got up to like having a half pipe in my camp, and it took like 8 days to build.
Yeah.
And that's
I
like the tier one like cool thing. Like there's like way more below that that I can't imagine. I mean, it take you 6 months to
I
build a
do
damn
remember
pool.
that. I can't I'm sure the game's very different than when we played it because you and I both played it
Probably.
at launch, and I'm sure
Yeah.
they've updated it a lot. But yeah, yeah, they were definitely really trying to get you to pay some real money
It was so grindy too when you go to the park, and I can't remember what the villagers did exactly. I think they asked you to like catch a certain bug or a fish.
or fruit. Yep.
Yeah. That's one thing I'm curious about because they kind of nailed like all the fruit from the very beginning. They had cherries and oranges and pretty much
Yeah,
everything that grows on trees. Like it didn't have lemons. Give me a lemon tree, actually.
I
Now that
was
I say
actually
it,
gonna say I think they've added fruit since the
I'm sure they
GameCube.
have. I don't know.
I'm gonna look it up real quick. Actually, I'll tell you what
Yeah,
fruit were in New Leaf.
yeah.
Um, but that
Bananas? That wasn't a thing.
I think they added those. But you actually reminded me another concern people have been having. I've seen on the internet, and I don't think there's any reason to be concerned about this, but they are. The only fruit they've showed so far is apples. I think they're just using the same island build, and
Oh
so,
yeah,
but yeah, I think they're gonna have at least all the fruit they had.
absolutely. I mean, they haven't shown anything of this game in this in scale.
Yeah, that's really the thing. People are getting so worried about things they haven't seen, but they're not understanding that you just literally haven't seen the game. They're keeping it under wraps very well. I don't think that's any reason to be concerned. So New Leaf had apple, cherry, orange, peach, pear. Then it had tropical fruits, which I think only grow on the beach, coconut and banana. So they did add
Okay.
banana. And then they had lemon, lychee,
Oh,
durian, mango,
durian.
and then there were persimmons.
Okay.
Yeah, so they've pretty much gotten to every fruit I can think of. Maybe a jackfruit they're still missing.
And then they're missing like uh, ground fruit, watermelon, and strawberries and stuff. That would be
Yeah,
kind of cool. Give
and
me a blueberry bush.
I've actually seen a lot of people saying that bushes would really liven up the thing, just add another level of detail, and I could get behind that. I would even go a step further. This may be a little too much for you because I know you were making comparisons to Harvest Moon earlier, but I would love to be able to grow vegetables as well.
I ain't no farmer.
I don't want it to be farmy in the sense that you have to use all the tools like you do on
I
Harvest
see what you
Moon.
mean. I can totally envision my guy doing the weed picking animation and plucking up a carrot.
Exactly. And I want it to go just like planting flowers, basically. You just
Yeah.
plant them, and it takes a little while in real time to grow, and then your guy plucks them out, a couple of them. Because another thing I would really like to see added is cooking. In every game, characters tell you they like certain foods and want
Hmm.
certain foods, but there's no way to actually cook those foods they like. They'll be like,
Yeah.
"Oh yeah, I could really go for some fruit salad," like your town guy, your villager, and you're like, "Why can't I bring him fruit salad?" He just talks about this fruit salad all day, and just some simple recipes. It didn't have to be anything extravagant. Just combine a few things or whatever.
I want to know how like meta they're gonna get. Like in the GameCube one, they're like, "Yo, he borrowed my Pokemon game. Get it back." And in your little inventory is like a Game Boy.
Yeah.
I love that kind of thing.
I actually was hearing that chore doing has been gone from the games, at least in the same sense that it existed in GameCube. And a lot of people want that back, where you could just go up to villagers and be like, "Hey, do you have a chore for me?" And
Yeah.
they give you something to do. So definitely, I would like to see that in the game as well.
Just any opportunity to give you something to do, keep it in the game, you know? Like just
Exactly.
keep it.
Obviously, the other thing they haven't shown, as far as I know, maybe none of, maybe a little bit, is what the 24-hour soundtrack is going to sound like. I'm very excited
Ooh
for
la
that.
la. Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Because in the very little they've shown, it sounds nice, but I don't know if it's GameCube nice.
Right. The
That
GameCube to
was
me
nice.
is the peak soundtrack. I know some people prefer some of the other ones over the GameCube, but the GameCube soundtrack was really good. I'm
2
hoping.
a.m.
Yep.
Best hourly soundtrack of all time.
I'm hoping to be as chill as that. And then of course
Or
I'm excited
was
for
it
some
2
new
p.m.?
KK slider tunes.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I'm also excited for some returning ones. I'm gonna have to request the KK love song.
I feel like I can still hear it in my head. Dun, 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 dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun,
Uh-huh.
dun.
Exactly. Me and you will have to go to a concert together the first Saturday. I bet that's something you can do now is both
Still a
go see.
Saturday night concert, yeah.
Yeah, and both, in multiplayer, go see KK.
I wonder if there's going to be neighboring islands, just like, you know, close and not really expansive, but that you can still put stuff on.
Yeah, that
Like
would be
a
cool.
short boat ride, maybe. And I'm not talking a freaking cabin boat ride. That took forever. Talking like a real time. You hop in a boat and woo.
Yeah, I think half of that was just because it took so long to save such a huge game. But now that it's going to be auto saved, that would take care of that. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it'd be interesting to see because I don't think they've shown Captain yet, but he's got to make a comeback. He's been in, I think, every game since then.
Yeah, he was
Bus driver.
the bus driver, yeah.
And then in New Leaf, I know he drove a boat again to take you to like Tortimer's tropical island.
Tortimer, is he dead? Is he super dead?
No,
Was he a ghost turtle? Did I dream that?
yeah, you dreamt that, man. He was alive. He just was no longer mayor. I think he was
Oh,
retired.
he's vacation Tortimer.
Yeah, he owned like an
Yeah.
island. I don't know if he
Him
owned the
and
island,
Nook,
but he
dude,
lived
just
on there.
made out like thieves in that
Uh huh.
game.
Tortimer was skimming off the top to buy that island.
Absolutely.
Uh huh. Letting Nook do whatever he wanted, running wild.
Those bastards. But you just can't stay mad at a guy like that.
No, he's like, I'll sell you a house with an interest-free loan. You got to give him some respect. And now, from what I understand, the whole island's going to be in debt to Tom Nook, even the villagers. So,
Can't wait to hear everybody complaining about that.
yep, he's really scheming up this time. He's got big things planned.
So I wonder if they'll like expand their house as well.
I did hear that they will. I I read it in an article, but I haven't seen any like official proof, so I'm not sure where they got that. But I read that villagers will make improvements slash expand their house over time. So um, I haven't been able to back it up, but I have read people talking about that, and I think that would be really cool.
Very cool.
All right, so I think that's kind of wrapping up what we wanted to talk about with Animal Crossing. I had a few more things I wanted to get to tonight. So the next thing I wanted to talk about was rumors I've been hearing, leaks I've read, things like that. Um, Basically, only two things I wanted to touch on. There's been some news about Breath of the Wild 2. A lot of people are leaking saying that it's actually taking longer to develop than expected. And so they're saying we're probably not going to see it till 2021. I know a lot of people were hoping for a 2020 release.
I've heard about this.
Yeah, any thoughts on that?
Yeah, it doesn't bother me because they haven't said anything. So, until they put something in stone, make the game, make it right. You've already got a great foundation. Now it's time to grow and transform it into a real Zelda game because I love Breath of the Wild and I think it's a fantastic game. One of the best, but it's a mediocre Zelda game. And I could ramble all day about that. But there's no delay because there's no timetable. So I'm just waiting for the next piece of news.
Right. Yeah. Other than wishful thinking, it's not like it was ever coming out in 2020 anyway. They
Exactly.
never gave us a release date. It's just, everybody's got the Majora's Mask thing in their mind. If they're
Right.
going to use the
Everyone
same
says, the
engine.
game's already made. They're same engine.
Yeah. I have a feeling they're tweaking the map a bit. I think they're going
They
to,
have to.
yeah, I think they're going to like repair a lot of Hyrule or either add more towns. Like the old stuff may stay ruined, but there's new towns popping up and things
Hmm.
like that of people living
Hmm.
there. Um, yeah, obviously they're going to tweak the map a bit, but I think maybe the map changes are more substantial than anybody was expecting.
Yeah. Which good, good.
Yeah. The other thing I've been seeing going around Twitter, which I think would be cool, is that they believe there's going to be two directs in the month of February, two Nintendo directs. One strictly dedicated to Animal Crossing, and the other basically laying out the roadmap for the year. Because after Animal Crossing, we really don't know much about what Nintendo's got going on for the year. We know Xenoblade, the remake for Xenoblade 1's coming out sometime this year, but we don't know when, and we don't know any of the other releases. So I think it would be really cool and really hyped to see two directs to get us very excited. One, to just blow our mind with Animal Crossing, make it so we cannot wait. And then two, to give us stuff to look forward to after that game comes out.
Absolutely. That would be so nice. I don't want to just see like another trailer for Animal Crossing because there's nothing else you can show me in a trailer. Like I need to see gameplay and I need to see a lot of it. Not that I need any, help with my decision. The game's getting purchased, the game's getting played, but we're ready to see something.
Yeah, just for the hype factor, man. Like, and Nintendo does it right every time. They know how to get you super hype.
Absolutely.
They know how to get you excited to the point where you cannot wait to play this game. I mean, it's already happening, and I don't know a thing about the game.
Yep.
So I'd really love to see, the first 10 minutes of the game or something like that, where it's just solid, strict gameplay to really see what's going on.
And a trailer will probably go hand in hand with that. I'm sure there will be another trailer, but I'd like to see a good bit of gameplay. And yeah, I mean, February is the time for them to do a nice 45-minute direct, show a bunch of trailers, some games we know about, some games we don't know about. Breath of the Wild 2, hopefully, is on that list. It's time for them to say something about it.
Yeah, anything you'd like to see announced? Maybe a dark horse pick that probably won't get announced, but you'd love it.
As far as my darkest of dark horse is never going to happen. I'll tell you that right now. And if anyone's looking forward to it, forget about it. It's not happening. But I want to see a Skyward Sword Switch port. It's impossible, but I want it so bad.
Yeah, I think the way they designed Skyward Sword is really going to prevent it from having a remake.
And they've pretty much already said that,
Yeah,
But they say it all PR, like they're like, oh, it's a great idea. It's not happening though.
right. If ever there's enough demand for that game, maybe they would do a full blown remake because they're going to have to. They can't do a remaster.
Yeah, no way.
But
even
yeah,
with the motion, it just wouldn't work.
I agree. My dark horse, and some people may think it's not even a dark horse, but the way Nintendo talks about it and a lot of fans talk about it. For some reason, this game isn't as popular as I feel like it should be. I would love to see Mario Sunshine.
Oh, that'd be great. That'd be so good.
Yep, a port of Mario Sunshine. I know people got bored of the levels because they were all like tropical themed, and Mario always goes through like ice and fire and different theme levels. But to me, the level design was great. The music on that game was awesome. Like that's such a
Delfino
nostalgic game
Square,
for me.
Delfino Island, is that what it was called?
Yep, Delfino
Yeah,
Square.
it's an awesome game.
Yeah, so I would love to see them announce a remake of that. That would just really make me happy. Something I'd be thrilled to play. I know a lot of people are hoping for the Galaxy games to get announced for a remake, so I think that's more likely just with how popular those are.
Yeah, but did they rely on motion control? I feel like they kind of did in a weird way.
Not as much as
There were sections where you like control this like manta ray or something, and it's all motion control, and people often say that's the worst part of the game.
yes, and that is stuff that can be ported to
Right.
work on the Switch because it's got
And it'd
gyro.
probably work a lot better.
Right, exactly. So that's a little different than having to be able to slash the direction you want. So I think they'd
Yeah.
be able to do that pretty easily. And I think that was basically all the full motion control
Yeah.
on the game. I think mostly it handled like a regular Mario. Not sure there's anything else I can think of that I think is likely. I really just have no idea what they're going to announce,
Yeah.
which is what's got me excited.
We're ready for some Mario Party news. They gotta do something to that game.
I would love a Mario Party DLC. I mean, at this point, say something about
What
it.
was it? Four boards came with? Was it only 4?
I'm trying to think if it was even 4 or just 3.
It was not a lot.
There's the fruit map. There's the map with the bomb in the center. There's the gold map where the price changes on the star.
I think there might be a Bowser themed one. I can't remember now.
I don't think
The
so.
game was forgettable.
Yes. The mini games
were not. Yeah.
Right.
They're great.
They just need to make Mario Party maps.
Yeah.
I think what they need in that game is an adjustable rule set because I know a lot of the hardcore fans do not like 10 coin stars. It's just too easy.
I hate it.
Yep. If they just made a slider to where you could select the price of stars, I think they could please everybody and it'd be really easy to do.
Yeah.
I would love to see some DLC for that game just to really make it into the game that it could be.
One last prediction before we go. If we do have a direct in February, it would make a lot of sense for them to announce the next Smash character. Any ideas?
I'm really running out of ideas of who they could add to Smash. At
Almost
this
like
point,
they just reach in a box and say, "Ho!"
I mean, they're
Master
down.
Chief.
They're saying now they're going to do 6 more characters, I believe.
Yeah.
I just couldn't tell you who they're going to add, man. I can't even venture to guess at this point.
I would like for them to reach back into the Square Enix cookie jar. A lot of people are saying Sora. I want Sephiroth so bad. It's, again, not going to happen, but boy, he would play really well in Smash.
Yeah, I mean, that would be a really cool pick.
But they'd have to shorten the sword because that's just...
I saw in a poll that apparently this pick is very popular in Japan, not so much in the United States, but it's one I would love to see, is Lloyd from Tales of Symphonia. They really want to see him in this game. And again, he lends himself great to Smash. He's another sword fighter, which I know some people are sick of, but he's got 2 swords, which I don't believe is done at all in Smash.
Pit,
so
kind of.
Yeah, I guess Pit is kind of.
But yeah, I would like Lloyd.
Yeah.
That would be really fun.
All right, so just a few more things before we wrap up. I did want to just touch briefly. I don't know if you saw, Platinum Games recently did a Kickstarter trying to remake Wonderful 101, or it's a remaster for the Switch. $50,000 US they were trying to raise. They did it in less than an hour. So
insane.
Yep, it is coming to Switch. I never played it on the Wii U, but people apparently love it, I guess.
Yeah.
Not only did they fund the Switch game, they had a 150,000, I believe, goal to put it on Steam and a 500,000 goal to put it on PS4. They did both of those in less than 8 hours.
So there's some fans that want this game for sure. It looks fun. It looks very wacky. The first thing I noticed when I watched the trailer back from 2013 is the voice of the blue hero is Mirage from Apex Legends. And you know he's got one of those voices that just like really rings in your ears. I was like, who is
Yeah.
this? And I start Googling it immediately. And he's done a ton of things. He was in some Assassin's Creed games, the voice actor. And right when I saw Mirage, it's like, that's where I know him from. He's Mirage.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. Supposedly, it's not going to take that long either. I guess it's fairly easy to port a Wii U game to Switch. The developer said there's a few things that have to be tweaked before the port will work, but so it may be a relatively quick release on top of that.
I'm excited for it. No price point, but honestly, like after watching after watching the little campaign they did for Kickstarter, that crazy video, I'm rooting for him,
Yeah.
dude. I'll buy a $60 game.
Yeah, I'm sure it's going to be a $60 game, and I think that's smart to do the same thing Nintendo's been doing is realize, hey, we put out good games on the Wii U. There just weren't enough Wii U's sold
Yep.
to sell copies of the game. You know, now the Switch has surpassed the Super Nintendo in sales. There's plenty of Switches out there, so for those good Wii U games, I 100% think they should try
Absolutely.
again. You know, and that's the other thing I think we're going to see from Nintendo. I think we're still going to see some of their more popular Wii U games come. I wouldn't be surprised to see Pikmin 3. I wouldn't be surprised to see Super Mario 3D
Yeah,
World. That's got to be
absolutely.
coming at some point. You know, they added it to Mario Maker 2, but it's not on the
Yeah.
3D World's not on the Switch. All right. Before we get wrapped up, you got any last thoughts? Anything else you wanted to put out there or talk about?
Just want to say we're looking forward to continuing this podcast and letting you guys know what we're thinking about, how we're feeling about all the news. Big news ahead. Like we said, if these directs are in February, which signs are pointing to, we're excited to talk about it.
Yeah, I just want to agree with that. We're going to do a weekly upload of the podcast. So be sure to check us out in a week. Also, go ahead and check out our social media. We're NintendoKnights on everything. So on Twitter, you can actually follow us at Knights Nintendo. And then everybody else at NintendoKnights. So follow our YouTube, our Twitch. We're gonna start live streaming the podcast at some point on Twitch and then upload it to everywhere else after. We're also gonna do some gameplay on there, especially when Animal Crossing comes out. So check us out there. YouTube will get clips of the gameplay as well as just reaction videos and things like that. So be sure to check us out and thank you all for listening.
See you
We will see you next
guys.
week.